Welcome to Happy Hour, brought to you by Best Damn Bookkeeping. I want to go through almost like chronologically, Nikki. I want to go through the process for me. And it was kind of funny because I own part of this business and I get to see it like from a bird's eye view, but I'm never really like in the ground layer sitting on the other side of the table. And so that was kind of a cool perspective for me to get as we got going hiring my account manager here is from the get-go, like you guys ultimately like held my hand the whole way. And I'd say more than that, like it's kind of like parenting in my household, honestly. Like Marty does 80% of the work and I'm just like the cool dad. It kind of felt like that. It was like you guys did 80% of the work and then I just had to do like 20%. It kind of felt like when you hire a company to build your website, if they're good, they're doing 80% of the work, but there's still some things they need from you to like do a good job for you. It felt a little bit like that. I have ClickCall Sell building a website for me right now, and it kind of felt similar to that. But the whole way along from what you guys needed to write a really specific job ad that like felt like something I would have written, but worked instead of what I would have written probably wouldn't have worked. And there's some like nuanced stuff with Indeed. So it was like early on, I got a few like instructional things of how to set stuff up. From your end of it, Nikki, what are like those steps that you see when Sean says, "Hey, Nikki, we got this wild ass client, Dan Plata, signing up. And here's what he's looking for." Like when it gets to your desk of somebody that signs up for Hire Lead Chill, what are those steps that start coming into play for you?
I mean, for the most part, like we've figured it out, right? So Sean does the demo and as soon as that demo's over, he's plugging in some notes. We don't even know if somebody's going to go ahead and follow through yet, right? But, they did the demo. We got some notes on them. We're following up. We're waiting for them to get that profile form in. Emails are going out. Here's your next steps. If I haven't seen something come in, I'm right there. Hey, I noticed you got started. Are you having any issues? What can I help you with? And I'm right there to help them get through that initial process. And realistically, the hardest part is filling out that profile form and giving us that information on what you need. Yeah. And then maybe, getting that redirect link with Indeed going. But everything in between there is a piece of pie.
The redirect link was hilarious because I totally jumped the gun on it. And then Indeed like posted a job for me that was not at all my job. And I was just like, oh no, like what have I done? Nikki, help. The profile form, I thought it actually kind of made me chuckle because I know we do this with applicants where we just feed them one question at a time. So they don't, because if you just give them like 10 questions, they're going to not fill it out. They're gone. And so I thought it was funny that it was the same for me. Like it was one question at a time and they would kind of build on each other. Some of them made me really like think, and in a good way, really made me think about who I'm trying to hire, what's really important, like a lot of core value things, a lot of culture things, and a lot of like my personality things. And you guys wove all of that into the job ad, which like I said, it was if I wrote the job ad, but somehow I knew how job ads were supposed to be structured in keywords and it just like all fit together like as if I had written it. And I'll say, I mean, and I don't know if you do this with every client, like we had some back and forth on it because my job is not a job. Nobody else offers the job that I have. Like it's very unique to my company. And so to try to describe it, it's like you're a bookkeeper, but you're not really a bookkeeper, but you need to know accounting, but it's more of a finance thing. And we don't do any taxes, but you need to be able to like read a client, their P&L, like you're reading them the matrix. Okay, write a job ad for somebody that understands whatever the hell I just said. But it was so cool. It was like all of a sudden you just came back at me with the job ad and I was like, oh, like that's pretty much it. Like here's a couple like nuanced things to dial in, but you guys nailed it.
Well, again, it goes back to finding you a good fit of a person, right? And then you were able to narrow that down by providing us with some questions that you felt a potential employee would need to know. And that's where you kind of got it's not really bookkeeping, it's not kind of accounting, it's a little bit of this, and you pulled that together and we put that in, and that's, So teamwork makes the dream work, Dan.
Hey, home service heroes, thank you guys so much for tuning into our home service happy hour content today. I sure hope you learned a little something, and I sure as heck hope that it was entertaining. If you did find it fun and entertaining, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for more cool, fun, entertaining business content. And speaking of which, stay tuned. There's a little more here and a little more right here. Check it out.